Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network.
I went online to become a private detective. It was a private detective school online, and I paid online. I never heard from them again. I thought to myself, I either got ripped off, or this is my first case. This is a journalistic podcast, Shannon. We vaccinate our listeners with answers. And I'm going to keep lip-syncing the important questions until TikTok gives me a show. Shannon, how can the moon landing be real if the moon itself is fake?
That's not true, Mike.
Oh, isn't it true, Shannon? You're fake. You're a hologram.
1 in 5 New Yorkers are food insecure. What's your solution for that, Mike?
Fortune cookie. Because that's food and advice at the same time. Shannon, at least have the decency to backstab me, okay? You stab me in the front every time. Some fans can't watch the podcast because they're triggered by our sexuality. And message to those fans, we will leak a sex tape right into your mouth.
This is Mike Vecchione Investigates.
And you're not better than me. Welcome to another episode of Mike Vecchione Investigates. Shannon and my guest, who I'll introduce soon, are in the studio, and I am in Aruba pursuing many different investigations. People are like, Mike, why do you go to Aruba? Is it for the weather? Is it for the sunshine? Is it for the beaches? It's like, no, it's investigatory. I have to be here to investigate things, all right? Like the iguanas sometimes get very, very frisky at these resorts. And it's a story that's happening and it's unfolding. And I need to come down here and be on location. And you guys should be grateful for that. You should be grateful that I come and pursue these stories. You know, there's turtles. Turtles can't mate on the beaches or something like that. And I have to investigate it. You know, the oceans are being polluted. Is it going to do me any good to investigate the oceans in New York, a landlocked state? No. I need to be on location, getting to the bottom of things. Are the starfish getting too cocky? Are they arrogant? Are they narcissists? I have to get the inside of what's going on. So that's why I'm traveling. And you guys are not better than me. So I am on location, and we're staying in a Katie Hannigan has come down also off her big performance on Corden. She nailed it. And so we came down here, her to vacation and me to do my investigatory journalism. I tried comedy for over 20 years, didn't work out. And now I'm doing journalism, which everyone who was a comic is mostly doing journalism now because people seem to want journalism. And I'm breaking the hard stories. But we're staying in another resort, and this one has a kitchen. So we went to the Superfoods today, which is their grocery store. It beats anything that we have in New York. Your Trader Joe's, your Whole Foods. There's nothing more powerful than the Superfoods. It's a superfoods. So I got my power up, did my affirmations, did deep jumps in order to get my energy level, my vibrations up in order to go to the superfood. You can't be having a bad day in the superfood. You have to energize yourself. You have to get yourself in a championship mindset. And that's what I do. The pool says no diving. I dive. I dive. There's no Olympic event for walking into the pool. Okay. So it's time to think like a champion. I have my championship hat on and I'm ready to roll. My guest today is a foreigner. He comes to this land. He doesn't know anything about it. He just comes. He's kind of lost. He has stumbled over here south, and we want to welcome him in. Tyler Morrison, thank you for being on the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
I appreciate you being here. And how did you get here? How did you get into our country? Let the people know. We have there's a lot of people concerned about the border, and we want to know how you slipped. If I could use that word without offending you, how did you slip by our border patrol?
I was very inconspicuous, very Canadian polite, so that helped.
Yeah.
I think that they, it didn't raise any red flags. I wasn't bringing any exotic fruit or automatic weapons with me, although that might have been a strike against me. So Yeah, it was
I mean, Tyler, you raise a good point. Not to cut you off, but I cut off all of my guests because I find that that's journalism. And you said a very important thing that a lot of our fans, who are mostly low-income whites, probably missed. Exotic fruits and firearms are kind of weighed the same at border control. They kind of ask you those questions right one after the other. Do you have any exotic fruits? No, I don't. Well, do you have any automatic weapons? And it's like, you got me. It was, if you had to choose between exotic fruits and automatic weapons, which would you choose and why?
Exotic fruits. I mean, in Canada, we don't have many of those at all. I mean,
Right.
It's a cold, barren wasteland.
Are you proud that nothing grows there?
It's all right. Yeah.
Yeah. How do you get your food? Do you rely on the red, white, and blue to get all of your food?
Well, we have a pretty good farming industry, but yeah, we do get a lot of food from America as well. Big
Right.
trading partner. Yeah, I think,
Yeah.
you know,
We're a huge trading partner.
that's
The
right.
best, number one,
The biggest,
the biggest.
very
And the
bigly.
Now, I have to take issue because I was in Canada in one of your cities, Toronto.
That's the one.
Saying that right?
Yeah, Toronto.
Toronto. And I was there and I had some poutine. And, you guys are used to it. You guys know what it is. It's French fries, it's cheese curds, it's gravy. It's a cardiovascular nightmare. But to us, somebody from the States, poutine sounds like a girl who slept with your friend. She's a poutine.
Yeah.
What's your reaction to me? What's your reaction to my reaction? Because everything's reactions on podcasts now.
That's fine. Yeah.
What's your reaction to my reaction to your French fried gravy?
So you didn't like it, is what you're saying? You weren't a fan?
I don't know if you can see my cheekbones, but I eat pretty clean.
Okay. Yeah.
You bring that to me, I say, you know what? You have about 10 seconds to get it away from me and get me some fresh fish or
Yes.
something cleaner.
It's definitely a dirty French food, and the best part about it, or the best place to get it, is in Montreal, Quebec, over there. But I'm sure Toronto, they litter it full of other shit too. I mean,
Right.
they dirty it up in Toronto.
Are there is it like an inner city food? Are there shards of glass? And maybe if you pull up a fry, there's graffiti underneath?
Depends on the neighborhood, I'd say.
Right.
Yeah.
The bad neighborhood. It seems like a bad neighborhood cuisine.
Yeah, it can turn a good neighborhood bad if enough of it runs through.
It's just vicious. It's like high blood pressure, heart disease, all that stuff kind of rolled into one. Do you guys take pride in trying to kill your citizens that way, Tyler?
I mean, we don't have, like I said, we don't have as many weapons, so I think
Right.
It's a silent assassin. It's a trap, right? Canadians.
It's a great
are nice.
point. That's a great point. You kill them with kindness and cholesterol.
That's right.
You guys are so sneaky, and you don't have a reputation as being sneaky.
No, but like if you look at our prime minister, he's out pretending to be all the different races. He's
Right.
assimilate in,
Right.
so he's covert.
He's a shyster, is a
And
word.
he's French.
He's French also. Wow. Now, you guys are you guys come off so nice, but hockey, which I know you're a big proponent of in
Mhm.
your land, and it's such a violent, tough, you guys are it's a very tough sport. Why aren't you guys, what's the switch that takes place? You're so nice on land, but I guess when you get on ice, you become barbarians.
I guess so. It must be the release valve for Canadians, because
Right.
go through your whole life being cold, and then they put you out into this arena like gladiators, give you sticks and sharp blades on your feet, and people
Right.
turn into animals out there. But yeah, I love
Is there a
hockey.
switch for you? If we got into an altercation, let's say, you can't touch me because I'm in a tropical land and you probably couldn't get down here, even though you managed to slip into the States. So I'm not putting anything past you. If we were to get into an altercation, would you go hold that thought and put on skates?
I mean,
Are you any good without skates on?
well, listen, I know that you have a wrestling background, so I would
Right.
want to skate away from that. That's not a fight that I think I'd want to take on land.
On
the
land?
ice, maybe I'd be more confident.
Yes, you would. Yes,
yeah.
you would.
Yeah, but I was a goalie, so I wore goalie skates when I played, and they have a flat bottom, like the blade is flat on the bottom. So it's
Right.
not, if I was to wear player skates, they have like a rock in the blade. I'd be probably on equal ground with you. You'd probably kick my ass.
Wow.
All over the place if I wear those.
It sounds like a rough forecast. As a goalie, do you enjoy blocking other people from trying to achieve their goals? We call that a hater in the United States.
Yeah, I love shutting
Are you
people
a
down.
professional hater?
That's right. That's right. I love shutting people down. That was the best part. Taking it away.
Right.
Taking away their dream. Yeah.
That's really true. It's what you do because they get the puck down there and they get excited. They get excited. They get excited. We're getting close. And then boom, you shut it down. And they're like, oh, and the whole crowd is like that. It ruins their goals also. So you enjoy doing that. That was a job for you.
I think so, but like if you look in basketball, there's nothing. I mean, dunking is amazing, but also when someone goes up for a dunk, if you stuff them, that feels good, right?
Right.
It's taking a dream away too. So
feels good to take someone's dream away.
Yeah, I think so.
There's a part of us that don't want other people to succeed, and as a goalie, that's kind of your job. You don't want other people to succeed.
Absolutely. There's the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and then there's the Take-A-Wish Foundation, and I think that's I'm going to start that up.
I think that is a thing for you. Take a wish, you take a wish. Stomp on people's dreams. That's a Frank Sinatra song, I think. It's words of some people get their kicks on stomping on someone else's dreams. And you literally do that.
Yeah, with skates.
With skates.
That's even worse.
With skates. Explain what a Zamboni is to our fans.
So a Zamboni is it's a machine that people drive around that cleans the ice.
Okay.
It doesn't have a roof. It's like open concept vehicle, and every arena usually has one. They used to have tractors that did it, but they got the Zamboni, and it's usually just one guy in a small town that's always high, and that's his job. He just goes around in circles. And
I'll tell you what Zamboni sounds like. It sounds like an Italian porn star that Shannon would date. Mark Zamboni.
Mark Zamboni is a great porn name.
That's a great porn name. Do you guys drive Zambonis in your towns? Like, enough with these cars. We want to keep it real. I'll pick up my date in a Zamboni.
It would be safer sometimes with the way the roads get. Like, it's pretty bad. In the winter. So I've seen people drive them on the road before, but not.
Have you?
Yeah, but it's just they're moving it around or whatever.
Right.
A delivery or something. But it's not too common.
It's the slowest delivery ever, probably.
Well, I mean, someone delivering the Zamboni to the arena or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, drive it in. But not a very popular vehicle on the main road.
Yeah, but you know what? The whole thing with owning a exotic car is, to separate yourself from the crowd. You're like, I drive a Zamboni, I'm special, and maybe women and people will be like, oh my God, you're somebody, and then Instagram, do it on Instagram and all that.
That's what they should do if you get a DUI and you can't drive your car. You should have to drive a Zamboni. It's hard to get into an accident driving one of those things.
I think you should have to be drunk to drive a Zamboni.
I know, exactly. So it should be, that's the trade-off. We don't stop these guys from drinking and driving. We just get a slower vehicle.
That's fantastic. I mean, I really think that that has an element of comedy to it. Tyler, we're both professional comedians, but we solve problems on this podcast.
That's right.
And that's why people should tune in. We can actually just solved drunk driving.
It's a big problem in Canada.
It's a big I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. That with frostbite. Is frostbite also a big problem?
I think so, yeah. It would be more of a problem if people drove Zambonis all the time. They'd be pretty cool.
Because there's no cover. There's no cover.
Right. Yeah. You'd have to get some sort of tarp rigged up.
A tarp?
I don't know.
Big word. That's a big word for our fans. A tarp. They don't understand stuff. So what have you been doing in your life, your career? You can get personal if you want. Sure. You can keep it professional if you don't want the low-income whites who watch the show to get into your business, because they will message you, as they do me. And they are great, great human beings, but they are low functioning. So anything going on? What's with the trip to the States?
Yeah, sure. So I've been doing a project for the last year and a half called Decentral Comedy, where we've been bringing comedy into the metaverse. So I came down to record a bit of content for that, for like a VR component that we're doing. We have a comedy festival called Mic Drop that we're doing in April 1st and 2nd in the metaverse called Decentraland. So people can come in as their avatars and experience watching comedy from all different places. We've done live streams from shows in New York. We did live streams from Brooklyn Comedy Club with Mark Normand and Ryan Long. So we've streamed those shows into Decentraland in the past, and we brought in people's stand-up specials, and people have come in as their avatars, different comedians, and interact with the fans. So it's just kind of playing with all the new technology that's out there and trying to create a cool new experience for fans from all over the world.
Isn't that a thing, though, if I'm failing in my career? Not that I am, but if I'm failing in my career and then I fail in my avatar, I don't get opportunities in my career, and then I also fail as my avatar. Wouldn't that almost sink a comedian?
I think it would hurt your feelings.
It really hurt my feelings. I'm just always thinking of the negative, the plot holes in this stuff.
The thing is, I don't know. The other people, you don't have to take them as like it's. I guess if you bombed in front of someone who is an avatar of like a unicorn or something, there's some crazy avatars out there. It probably doesn't feel as bad. Like, if I was a unicorn avatar, I could be like, it was my horn. I'm better without my horn. Without my horn. Exactly. Or there's a glitch in the matrix. You can come up with new excuses for bombing.
Yeah, I'm the king. I'm the king of coming up with excuses. Now, are your glasses virtual reality right now?
No, not right now.
I'm sorry, I have to get to the bottom of this.
I don't have those ones. The augmented reality, they're making these glasses. I don't know if anyone who's watching has seen this, but it is pretty cool, some of the stuff that they're doing there. I haven't got into the AI side of it yet, but it's wild the way the tech is moving towards these new innovative experiences. So to be part of it, kind of on the ground level as a comic and having some input into how that shapes, I think it's good for comedy overall. When it gets, to a point where more people are adopting it on a mass level. Adopting it.
Can you describe what AI is for our low functioning fans?
So it's augmented reality. I don't know a lot about this, so like I can't speak too much about it. But it's like if you put on your glasses, you can be kind of like watching virtual stuff through the lenses. I'm pretty sure. I saw something that Zuckerberg put out, and it was pretty cool. Some of the stuff that he has in the works over there. But right now, it's still in the early stages, and people are coming up with new cool stuff every day. It's just kind of cool seeing what the tech people have, what they're working on, and getting to, be part of what they're building.
So it could be like the Matrix. We could all live in like these water pods and have these, and we could just be all having these unbelievable experiences and lives and all live like wealthy aristocrats, but just really in reality, we're functioning in these, we're just in these pods.
Yeah, that's right. You could be in your basement and like there's
most of our fans are, thank you for saying that, because most of our fans are in their mother's basement.
That's a good place to be. The guys who have a club called the Unknown Comedy Theater, and they do it in this metaverse, the Facebook one, Horizon Worlds. Mm-hmm. And I went in there, and I was an avatar, and I did stand up, and they had a packed comedy club full of people, and it felt like doing comedy at an open mic, or even better than that, because it felt like a real show. You actually get laughs from these people. It's pretty sweet the way it's moving. I was surprised how realistic it was.
But can I punch a hole in your optimism, Tyler, for a second?
You can totally do.
Okay, because now we're having avatars and we're having these holograms perform, and now I have to compete with Richard Pryor. I have to compete with George Carlin. They could just bring those guys back, and then any new and emerging talent, which I've been for the past 23 years, never gets to see any success because these old people's holograms, these legends, just overtake anybody new trying to come up. Don't you find that to be very real?
Well, they'd have to do new material though. If they're
That's
doing
true.
old stuff, and people have heard that before. So I think
Right.
it's the fact that you can, do your own new material, and
Right.
people can't keep up with that. So
This smoke break is brought to you by YoDelta.com, the official Getting High sponsor of the Gas Digital Network.
People want it on the edge.
that's right, buddy.
So that's awesome, man. Well, thank you I was about to feel bad, and you really brought me up for that. Brought me up because that was a big plot hole. If they could see, Michael Jackson or some of these other stars, it's like, why would I go see any emerging talent? So where are you staying?
So I was actually, I'm staying at my buddy John Moses' place in New Jersey. Yeah, we do the Fight Stories podcast together.
Yes,
So we've been working on getting some new episodes lined up for that, and yeah, it's
Now
good.
he has a family. Are you like an uncle? You're like a northern uncle that they
Yeah.
don't see very often.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's separated now though, so he's got his own pad right now. So
Right.
it's
Okay.
it's easier to bring the drunken uncle over,
Right.
and not
Uncle Tyler.
not disrupt the whole system they have.
Do you have children yourself, Tyler?
I do. I have 2 daughters. So
Wow.
7 and 4. Yep, great kids. Lots of fun at that age. So
7 and 4. And everybody always says how hard it is, but you actually flipped it and you went, it's actually pretty fun.
yeah, I like it because I'm away on the weekends. So
Right. That's the best. Is that the best part of it? Because then women can they just have every weekend is a girls' weekend.
Yeah, and so I get to be there during the week when it's kind of. I live in a small town. I don't live in the city, so I come back to a quiet existence, and then the second it's the weekend, I get to go wherever and do shows, and it's the best of both worlds, really.
Well, the future is female, so I'm glad you had daughters.
Yeah.
I read that on a shirt. Read it
They're
on a
everywhere.
shirt. It's
They're
got to
everywhere.
be true. It's got to be true. Down with men. The future is female. So thank God for that. Or you follow American football?
Yeah, I've been watching a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, because we're going to go in deep on some of these. I appreciate your story, and I know we've worked together, and I've done your podcast. But now this is an investigatory show,
Okay.
Tyler. So now we're going to go in on some of these investigations. And as a guest, I like to investigate each topic, each story with the guest that comes on. So are you ready for that?
Yeah, let's look into it.
Okay, Shannon is going to come and Shannon presents us the story, and then we will break it down and investigate.
Sounds good to me.
All right, the first one is Philadelphia Eagles head coach Nick Sirianni. His 5-year-old daughter Taylor stole the show at a press conference after the NFC title win as she imitates her father with priceless hand gestures.
Okay. Now, Tyler, are you aware, because Tyler is our guest, but Taylor is the focus of the story. Tyler is our guest, who's the comedian, and Taylor is the little girl mocking her father in the press conference. So, Tyler, are you familiar with our American football system and that the Eagles have advanced to the Super Bowl, the Philadelphia Eagles?
Oh, yeah. And you'll never hear the end of it if they win.
Yes, you're never going to hear the end of it now. I myself am an Eagles fan.
I knew it.
Because I lived in Philadelphia. So yes, you will never hear the end of it. And I'm so happy with their win, even though the 49ers were badly injured, but it doesn't taint it. We are advancing into the Super Bowl. I'm very proud. But as a father of 2 daughters, what do you make of this? He's at the press conference. Do 3 kids need to be at a press conference? Like, I don't understand why they need to be at a press conference. Are they also, you're talking about the game? It's like, okay, my 4-year-old would like to make a statement about the tooth fairy.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, it depends on how, like, what's his wife doing? Where's she? Why is she?
Yeah. And it's not that only women should be watching the children, but he is doing a press conference. It's fairly important. And if not the wife, maybe the third string punter.
Yeah, or
could
they
watch
probably,
the kids.
they're probably got a lot of money. They could have a nanny.
Right.
There's
Or
a time and a place for children.
they probably have so much money they could have a super nanny.
the time and a place for children. It reminds me almost of that thing with Giuliani, wasn't it? His kid was mocking him at a press conference.
I don't remember that one.
Farley did a hilarious Saturday Night Live sketch where he played his son, and he's just like, "Daddy, Daddy," and he's just being this like oversized kid that was a brat, and he kept getting hit in the face at the baseball game with the ball. But it was Giuliani had that happen to him. So it's funny. Kids in press conferences are never a good idea, I would say.
Never a good idea. Yet these parents continue to bring their children to these press conferences. Or do you think that they're relying on us, the fans and the media, to co-parent?
Maybe. Or they just think, you know what? My kid's so cute. Everyone will put up with this. And that's,
right.
You go to any situation where it's more of an adult thing and people bring their kids. People, when they bring their kids to comedy shows, like, what are you thinking?
Right. Right.
Leave it in the car.
Leave it. Yeah. Leave these kids in an air-conditioned car for once.
Yeah.
Right. So she was making hand gestures. Shannon, can we show it? Because it was brief. So I want Tyler to see it.
Each game's a little bit different, but it was great to set the tone there and get the lead, right? And get the lead and put them behind. Taylor, stop it. Taylor.
Okay, Tyler. Your reaction, you saw that. I think it would have been, she's on to something here. But would it have been funny if he's talking about the game and she's going like this?
I don't have a problem with that kid doing that. I think it's hilarious.
Right.
But at the same end, if it was his daughter, if it was my son, I'd smack the shit out of him. Don't disrespect me.
Well, because he's a football coach, do you think that because he has 3 kids, so you bring out one kid and your one kid does that, you go, Taylor, go sit on the bench. Go sit on the bench. You bring the next kid up.
That's right.
And
Grab some
how
bench,
they do.
Grab some bench, take a lap.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. But the thing is with that, I don't know, football, it's a family thing, and he's got his kids. I don't have any problem with that. But
you think he's going to be
getting mad at it? He shouldn't get mad at it.
But as a father of 2 daughters, do you think that Taylor, his daughter who just did the mocking, do you think she's going to be high maintenance?
High maintenance. That's a good question.
It is, because it's foreshadowing, which is a word we use in the in writing. And it's foreshadowing. I'm explaining it out to the fans, Tyler, not to you. So it's foreshadowing that she's probably wanting to go to an expensive fashion institute or something like that. It's just like she's going to be I want to buy the best clothes and this is never good enough for me kind of a thing. Do you think that's what's happening here? Are we getting a window into Christmas future?
It might be a window more into what happens in their house. Maybe his wife mocks him all the time, and then
could be.
Yeah, I don't know. She won't be mocking him if the Eagles win the Super Bowl, though.
That's right. Well, they've already made it to the Super Bowl, and that should get some respect. But apparently, it doesn't. You think she would have been more interested if he was talking about like a Barbie dream house?
Oh, for sure.
She would have been into it then. It's like you're not talking about what I want to talk about.
Yeah. I think so. And obviously the fans would have wanted to hear about that, I'm sure.
Right. I like that. Take a second to talk about what she wants to talk about.
Yeah.
What's Barbie up to? What's she doing? She has a dream house. How'd she pay for it? What kind of a mortgage does she have? Is she still dating Ken? Does she get to go out and have fun still without having to call Ken on his virtual cell phone or whatever he has,
And if you bring the kids into that situation, there's a good chance they're going to be bored about football. That they don't care. They're used to football, so yeah, they might want to hear about the Paw Patrol or something.
Paw Patrol is a huge. Do your girls watch Paw Patrol?
Oh yeah, they love that stuff. My youngest.
What about SpongeBob? Is he still an issue?
SpongeBob, not so much. That never caught on in our house anyway.
Right. He's under the sea. He's living his life under the sea.
Yeah.
That does seem a little far-fetched, if I do say so myself. I'm going to go conspiracy here, and you just hear me out. You can call me crazy if you want to. You can size me up for a straitjacket if you'd like, but I personally think what she was doing was signaling the Chiefs who they were going to play some of the offensive strategies. What she was doing was very premeditated and deliberated. She was doing signals to the Chiefs as to what the offenses were going to be. And I think that she's a rat and she's a spy. How about that theory?
Yeah, maybe Belichick got to her and taught her a couple of his tactics, and now she's using them against her own father. That's betrayal.
It is. It's a great word to use. It's a biblical term that we don't take lightly here on the show, Tyler, but it's a betrayal. And who knows what happened before this? It's like, oh, you want me to eat my vegetables? Or I go to my room, and then she's sent to her room, and she's in her room like stewing and just angry. And then she's like, I'm going to get revenge. and then she goes out on this press conference and gives all of the Philadelphia offense away through hand signals to the Kansas City Chiefs.
I think you might be onto something with that. I mean, maybe he took away the Barbie dream house. Maybe that was it.
Right.
That was the catalyst for.
I think that these kids are vengeful and they get angry and they seek revenge. And this is how she did it. It's just genius, you know? Do you think she's a little bit of a diva? Do you think she's named after Taylor Swift? That's why it's Taylor?
Maybe. She's certainly, or she's just picking up some of those traits because it's just synergy.
The same name. It's synergy, which is a word we use here on this podcast. Synergy. Well, I think it was 4th and long, and Taylor threw a Hail Mary, and I think it resonated with everybody. But kids at a press conference, if you're going to bring your kids to the press conference, be ready to be betrayed and have them give away your entire offensive plan for the Super Bowl. I think that's what I got from that story.
If the Eagles lose, that's what we're blaming it on.
I certainly am. I'm not above blaming it on a child. I will blame it on a child. Tyler, that was a good one, man. I think we got to the bottom of that one. No one saw that coming.
Yeah.
We didn't even see it coming, but we looked at the story, we analyzed it, and we just blew a lot of people's minds, which is what you have to do in podcasting now. Conversation isn't enough.
That's right. It's crack investigative squad right here.
It's a crack invested. We're a special unit, like podcasting. I think we're internet sleuths, to be honest. Shannon doesn't want to slip into that category. She thinks we're too hot for that, but maybe we are now. Next story, Shannon. Cue it up.
The next one is, quote, I'm retiring for good. Emotional Tom Brady calls it quits on his NFL career for the second and final time.
Tom Brady, who I'm not a Patriots fan or a Bucks fan, but I love Tom Brady. Tyler, what's your first reaction to Tom Brady? Do you like him or not?
Yeah, I love him. Winner.
Right.
Just
Who doesn't love a winner?
Yeah, that's right. Losers don't love winners.
Yes. Losers don't like winners. Winners love winners. That's great, Tyler. And what was your reaction when you found out about his retirement? Because this happened just today. Sometimes we do breaking news on this story.
You know what? I think it's good for him to go out while he's still, had a very respectable end to his career. Like, he never looked bad. I mean, he was really solid all the way up to the end. So I think going out, as the king that Tom Brady is, not a bad way.
It is a great thing. Now, he made his retirement announcement on Instagram. And do you think he has to do a different retirement announcement on each platform?
I don't know. How many kids does he have to make out with?
Oh, the kid making out thing. Yes. Well, he kissed his son. It's very, I know he's Irish, but that's a very Italian thing to do.
He's not bringing his kids to press conferences now, though.
No, he doesn't bring his kids to the press conference. But should he make an announcement on Instagram, on Twitter, on TikTok, Foursquare, LinkedIn, and then, of course, Raya, because he is divorced?
I think he only has to pick one, and everyone else picks it up. You're Tom Brady. Why do you got to go to all these other dorks? Let them come to you.
And you're calling the fans dorks.
Not the fans, the platforms.
Right. The platforms are dorks. I understand.
Yeah, the people that run it.
Should you be able to retire and then re-retire and then come back and then retire again, then come back and retire again? Should you? Because I feel like you should be allowed to do that if you want to. I mean, look at J-Lo and Ben. They keep having wedding ceremonies, and that's fun. And everybody goes, they're getting married again. I just get married every week. You'll never get divorced. If you're, oh, we're going to get divorced. It's like, well, it conflicts with our wedding. So it's bad scheduling. We can't do it. We have to stay married.
Yeah, I think you should be allowed to do it if you love the
Right.
game and you love, what you're doing. But it also keeping in mind, usually the first time that you retire, that's when you're at your peak, or when you're at your best. So when you come out of retirement, you're jeopardizing your entire legacy, and you want to make it count.
But legacy is something in somebody's mind. It's somebody in somebody else's mind. Their
true.
idea of what you are.
Yeah.
If I was Tom, I would retire and I would come back at the beginning of the season. I'd play the whole season. I retire again. I come back at the beginning of the season. I would just keep doing that for like another 10 years, 54 years old.
It's just so many victory laps.
Yeah. And he could be a fourth string quarterback at that point. It's like, put me on the roster, 54 years old. I will be a fourth string quarterback because I will keep this game alive.
Yeah, and I also think it keeps you alive if you're doing what you love. Even if you're,
Right.
fourth string and you're just like bringing
Yes.
something back to the team, giving something back, your knowledge
Right.
and experience. I mean, that's why a lot of guys get into coaching. But if you don't have a place to go, if you just retire all of a sudden and you're still, an amazing athlete and you don't
Yes.
have anything to do, you get old really quick. You see people,
Right.
escalate in their years faster than, if they have nothing to do.
Right.
Old fast.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because he's transitioning to a broadcaster, and which is genius, I think, because you can't criticize anyone who's transitioning now, or you will get canceled. So, brilliantly played once again by Tom Brady. Do you think we should believe him? Because, he was great at play action, and maybe that's what he's doing here. It's another fake. Do you think we should believe him this time, Tyler? And why should we believe him? He's so good at play action fakes.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's just because he's down in Tampa, right? So if he's,
Yes.
it's how hard is it to want to get back into playing football in Tampa? Like it's got to be fun.
So fun.
I think he'll grease his way back again.
Yeah, I think he's going to come back too. I think that the broadcasting thing is a rouge. And even though I would like to hear him, but I think he comes back again. And I would love it if he just kept retiring and kept coming back. It would trick the media. It would trick all of us. It would take us on a wild roller coaster ride. And I think that would be good for us and for him. And then we would start hating him. Imagine building all those years and then people just love you. And then you go, you know what? I'm going to go out with people hating me. And then it's a long-term plan to get people to hate you. You just turn heel.
I think it could work. But also, what are the child support payments like? Maybe he needs to come back.
That could be
he's
true.
made a lot of money, but you don't want to just have your money sitting there hemorrhaging.
Right.
I mean, some of these celebrities and athletes, they have to pay a lot.
Right. And their children probably want to have boats and a yacht. He has a yacht for each of his kids, and they're having parties for Instagram and stuff like that, Do you think that was his plan? Divorce, then retire so that you can be single when stay married all those years where you're focused on football and then get a divorce, retire. Now you're single.
Yeah,
you're in the nightclub scene.
Yeah. It's a good way to get alone time.
It really is.
Yeah, that's not a bad move, really. Maybe I'll retire comedy.
What's that?
So maybe I'll retire from comedy.
Would you post it on Instagram, your retirement?
Yeah, only one platform. I'd have to pick one.
Well, what if you did this? Tyler, you retired from comedy and you posted on Instagram. It went viral. You got a huge following. Then you would have to come back.
You totally would have to come back. I think so.
Maybe that's a strategy. Maybe Tom is still teaching us.
Ever notice the people who always retire from comedy, though, and make an announcement about it? They never made it in comedy. It's never the greatest of all time. Hey, I'm retiring. It's always...
They throw a Hail Mary, which is what... That's another football reference, which we're not short on today. Giselle, it said before they got divorced, Giselle was concerned with his health. She was so concerned that she left him. Do you think that's a strategy?
To be concerned with someone's health and then leave them. That sounds like you're really concerned.
Yes.
What's his problem with his health? Is he a sex addict? That's really the only thing that,
That's interesting because he doesn't drink, he doesn't smoke, he doesn't eat anything bad or do anything. So that might be the case. But no, she was concerned with his health because of concussions.
Oh, okay.
And hits, things of that nature.
So she's saying if he keeps playing that
Yes.
it's going to be worse. And
Right.
she's concerned about being around him. Is he having violent episodes because of CTE? There's, I don't know. Like, I don't.
There's a lot to dig there. She's concerned. So she was like, now I'm going to love you from a distance.
Yeah, maybe that's
Is that a good way to break up with somebody? I'm going to love you from a distance. I can't stand you up close.
I don't know. I've had a couple restraining orders like that, but
Yeah. 50 feet, or in Canada, 50 meters.
That's right. That's
Watching
right.
Canada. We're very
CFL fans.
respectful. Tyler, we're very respectful of the metric system on this podcast.
I love it.
Now, Giselle, I don't know if you've been following her arc, which is what we call it in storytelling. She's dating a jiu-jitsu black belt.
Oh no, that always makes you feel good when your supermodel wife leaves you for a
It
jiu-jitsu
just doesn't
black
make
belt.
you feel that good when your supermodel wife starts dating a jiu-jitsu black belt.
That's right. Like, I'm the best, and you're thinking you're the best, and then it's like, I can't even beat this guy up though. That's
Right.
That's the one thing that trumps being the GOAT.
I'm sure Tom wants to beat him up.
I mean, yeah.
But how can you beat up a jiu-jitsu black belt? You can't do it.
It's not easy. It's not easy, I would think.
No, I mean, you can't hand off.
Yeah. Who's the guy?
You can't pump fake. You gotta, how do you do it? It's like even Tom Brady has these insecurities and issues. You know what I would like to see, Tyler? I would like to see Tom Brady quit everything, train as a jiu-jitsu fighter, get his black belt, beat Giselle's boyfriend, tap him out, get Giselle back, lives happily ever after. Your thoughts?
Next season of Cobra Kai.
I think we just did a show.
There you go. Yeah. He's got a puncher's chance because he's got so many rings. I mean, one punch with all those rings.
Right.
It's going to drop anyone like a stone.
But he doesn't have a wedding ring anymore. Do you think that bothers him?
I mean, psychologically, yeah.
No, or do you go, you know what, baby girl, you want a divorce? I still have 7 rings left. 7 rings.
Maybe missing that wedding ring is the reason why he's coming back to try and win more Super Bowl rings.
Yeah.
Feeling a little
replace that.
Yeah. I mean, that would certainly be the trump card.
The Super Bowl ring has more. Does it have more power than a wedding ring? This was my commitment to this team during the season.
Yeah. Super Bowls are forever.
Yes. Super Bowls are forever. They keep talking about the next chapter in Tom Brady's life. Don't you think that's ironic that they're talking about the next chapter? Because most football players have never read a book.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Do you think this last season deflated his legacy?
It might have. Not having Gronk with him, I think, didn't help. I think that's like a nice compliment to him. It probably made him feel a little bit more comfortable playing down there to have his guy from New England down.
Right.
Yeah.
Gronk did not come back this year. Gronk didn't come to help him.
No.
Because I guess there wasn't enough money. I would go, oh, Gronk, I didn't know our friendship was about money. I thought you would just come down here and help me win another Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's too bad we didn't see him.
I hate the way they say that he's calling it quits. It's 23 years.
Yeah, that's not quitting.
That's not quitting.
Yeah.
And I hate the media.
Losers quit.
Losers quit. And Tom Brady is no loser or quitter for that matter.
That's right.
We'll defend him on this podcast. Okay. I'm sorry. Shannon, do you have anything to add from a female perspective on that?
I do. Or I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
I feel like she must be, I feel like, pretty mad that she was begging him to quit football. Otherwise, she's going to leave him. And then they finally get a divorce and it goes through. And then he's like, okay, I'll leave now.
Right.
That
seems crazy.
maybe that was his plan all along.
Just get rid of her.
Yeah. But like, it's hard to break up with someone, but if you trick them into breaking up with you,
Ooh.
then you get to be the hero still. Like Tom Brady's used to be in, he thinks he's like, a lot of people hate him. So, but they're losers. But
Yes.
But with winners,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he didn't want to look like the bad guy.
You think he played it perfectly? I think personally that he wants to be married to her and that she made the decision, the final decision, and he wanted her back and she said no. And he comes from the mindset of, I'm going to leave when, like when you're working out, do you ever hear the phrase, I don't quit when I'm tired. I quit when I'm done.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think Tom Brady has that. I don't quit when other people are pressuring me. I don't quit when I'm tired. I quit when I'm done. When I'm ready to quit, that's when I'm going to quit. And she makes a good point too. She goes, "Hey, this is a partnership. The kids, like, I'm sure he has no time. I'm sure his whole dedication went into the team and went into football." And she has a great point. But I think he's in that championship mindset. Hey, there's a price to pay for being a winner. There's a price to pay.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes the price is the valuable things like your family and other intangibles. But he is a winner. I'm not saying he made the right choice. I'm just saying that it's high stakes when you get to that level. What do you think, Tyler?
If you've been playing the game as long as he has, you're thinking football's been with me my entire life. I've only known her for so many years. So for you to tell me, to give up something in an ultimatum, that doesn't feel very good because they knew what they were getting into when they got together with you, and they knew that this is your.
But in her defense, she did say that he was only going to play 10 more years, and he kept extending it.
Oh, okay.
So he did say that, but he kept extending it because he was great and he was healthy and he was playing at a high level. So he kept extending it. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's tough to blow up a family like that. I would say. I'm
not saying it's all one-sided. It's all, it's both of them, but it's hard. I would agree with that. That's a huge sacrifice to make if an ultimatum is being presented.
Almost as big of a sacrifice as you have to make to become a winner in football and win a Super Bowl. So
true. Or 7 of them in his case. Shannon, Tyler raises a great point. Do women love ultimatums? It just seems like you guys love them and you can't wait to give them out like little pieces of candy on Halloween. Can you talk to me about ultimatums, Shannon? And maybe a time in your life where you've handed a couple of down?
I don't think it's fair to put this on Giselle because I feel like she was looking out for him.
Can I cut you off for 1 second, Shannon?
Yes.
Is this a woman siding with another woman?
It is, yes.
That's shocking. That's never happened before. Let me sit here in disbelief while you explain your point and I listen intently, Shannon.
Let me woman-splain it to you, Mike.
Okay. Shannon just did a meme. Tyler, Shannon did a meme.
So I feel like she was really looking out for him because I was just reading up about it a little bit. And she was saying that she was trying to protect the future of their family by not letting him get hit in the head more and more so that when he gets older, he still has, all of his marbles. And she was trying to protect her family. He's played enough. And he only wanted to play 1 more year anyway, so there was no point. She did the right thing, and I think maybe you're right. Maybe he just wanted a way out, but I don't think she's wrong.
I personally don't think he wanted a way out. I think he's in every relationship. There's someone who breaks up, and there's a dumpy. I think she's the breaker-upper. I think he's the dumpy, and I think it was just too little, too late. Like he was like, I'll retire. Like last year, I think I'll retire. She goes, I'm already gone, dude. I'm already moved on. I've already got somebody I've got my eye on, this jiu-jitsu black belt, which I'm not in love with that she has the right to move on with her life, but I'm not in love with the fact that she's doing horseback riding and stuff like that with him. And I don't care for that. But Shannon, you raise a good point. you raise a great point, actually. Do you think her story is the narrative being shared in the Us Weeklies and the People magazine, and his narrative is being shared in the Sports Illustrateds? It just depends on the publication.
It's possible. I have like when I look for stories in the morning, I just see like 3 or 4 in a row. And then
Mhm.
it's just like, here's his thing, here's her thing, and they just kind of throw it all out there. Maybe they want
Right.
you to like binge read all of the stuff about them.
How is he eating his soup these days? Is he dribbling it a lot? That's what I want to know. Is he having trouble eating his soup? Because that'll let me know if he has head injuries and if it's time for her
Right.
to, put an ultimatum on the table. Or if
Yeah.
it's time. Like if he's having trouble with his day to day, but I mean,
Yes.
this guy's still functioning so high as
Yeah.
an NFL quarterback.
Right.
I mean, yeah, the long-term effects, but he's been doing it for how long? Like any of those effects that he's going to feel long-term, he's probably already suffered a lot of that already.
Right.
So, I mean, she might have been too little too late calling that audible.
Maybe she doesn't want to be around to take care of him. Like if somebody has,
That's more.
whatever, dementia or whatever, and then it's a tough thing to do. And then you're like, well, now I don't have to deal with any of it.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all human beings, I'm not saying that she's any kind of way, but we're all human beings. It could be something that she's thought about.
Is the jujitsu guy she's with, is he like a famous fighter?
No, he's not in the
He's just a
UFC or anything, but he's runs a school with 2 of his brothers, 2 of his
Okay.
sexy brothers. And I just don't like that. I was rooting for them, Tom and Giselle, and I don't like when they just go on their separate ways, and it's it puts a bad taste. I was like, I'd like you guys to make it. I would have loved it if you would have made it, But now she's off horseback riding. It just seems like I don't like the horseback riding. Like a girl breaks up with me, and then on her Instagram she's horseback riding. It's
that's
like
some Putin stuff right there.
I just don't love it. Yeah, who are you? Are you a totalitarian leader about to invade another country? That's what it feels like. I'll be honest with you, Tyler.
Just cuts so bad, man.
Cuts deep. Shannon, let's go to our next one. That's not about football for those of you ready to click off our podcast.
Okay, the next one is what makes a good life? The 5 secrets to happiness according to an 80-year study by Harvard.
I love these 80-year studies. It's an 80-year study that started in 1938 in Boston. And if the study started in 1938 in Boston, how bad it must have been if you're the person starting the study, because anybody studying in Boston in 1938 was getting beat up by a bully.
And it's about being happy.
Yes.
No one I know that's 80 is happy. So
No.
probably the worst person to be conducting the study.
I love these. These are such long studies. So
Happy
Shannon, what's the
deep
first?
line.
Shannon or Tyler, do you want to chime in? Are you happy? Would you gauge your happiness for us?
Yeah, I'd say I'm pretty happy.
Yeah.
I think so.
What brings you happiness?
My family for sure. Doing comedy. I love doing stand up. I love
Right.
love everything about that side of it, the writing and the performing, and just being around good friends. I got no problem with that.
Okay, let's see if it checks out, Shannon. Because what are the tenets of living a good life, a happy life? I'm sorry, this is about happiness.
The first one is having friends makes you live longer. Social connection is strongly linked to health and a long life.
That you nailed it, Tyler. Is one of the things that you said. Good friends, and not Instagram friends or social networking friends. And it's like having a friend on social media and that's always bragging to you. Look what I'm doing. Look what I'm having fun doing this. Look what's coming up for me. And it's like you would never have a friend like that who's constantly bragging to you.
Mm-hmm.
Or do you have friends like that?
I mean, not really. Yeah, the people. I mean, you tell people what you're doing. Like, I mean, comedy people usually you're telling people where you're at. But I mean, I don't think I'm particularly close with anyone in comedy that is in love with themselves that way. I mean, not to the extreme. Everyone in comedy is a bit of a narcissist, but
Yeah. But what if I just called you up and I go, having a banging day today, dog. I'm just killing it. I'm on a boat right now. I'm just with models, with and we're shaking it and we're drinking champagne. Goodbye.
Yeah,
And
thanks for the invite, Mike.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just like, this is what I'm doing, though. That's the equivalent of having an Instagram friend. Shannon, do you find this to be true?
I do think that's important, to have like a good group of people around you. I agree with that.
Because then you can lean on them if you're going through hard times.
Yes, and that actually brings it to the next one, which is writing down who supports you can help. It says to build a healthy support network, the researchers advise writing down who supports you and who you support in different categories. It can take form in as safety and security, learning and growth, emotional closeness and confiding, et cetera, et cetera. So it says that you can focus on who you need to support more or who in your life maybe you don't need around you.
I mean, writing it down sounds like a full-time job, doesn't it? It's like I have to write down all the people that I support, and then I have to write down all the people that support me.
I think that's
Shouldn't
kind
it
of
just happen
psychotic.
organically? Yeah.
Yeah, that seems definitely
Right.
outside.
And how do you retire from supporting somebody? You have to call them and go, I no longer have the energy to support you.
My name is Giselle, and
Yeah, I no longer can support you. So now I'm going to cross you off my list. Please don't call me if you need support. Shannon, have you ever done that to a friend?
I just call them when I need support.
No, you had to cut somebody off
Oh yeah.
as a coworker or friend because they were going to the well too often.
Yes. But I don't like say it to them. I just kind of like slowly ghost them.
phase them out.
Yes.
We call that the fade.
Yeah.
They slowly ghost. Slowly ghost. The slow ghosting?
All of a
Okay.
sudden, their hand is transparent.
Yeah, I think it's like, yeah. At the end of that movie where his hand was to Michael J. Fox. It's transparent. What's the next one, Shannon?
The next one says happiness isn't a destination. That basically the good life is joyful and challenging, full of love, but also pain. But basically it's like not, it's not just focusing on your goals, but being happy with where you are currently.
Well, Tyler blocks goals, so he knows about that. It's not focusing on your goals, but it's the process. But I'm actually in Aruba, so happiness is a destination. Sorry, I'm sorry, not sorry. But happiness is a destination, but it's more about the process of trying to achieve happiness.
I think so. I think that makes total sense because the people who they have a very set goal and they want to get this or get to that.
Yeah.
If they're not having fun along the way, then
Right.
it's like very fleeting when you do achieve the goal. Like, what are you going to do next? If you're not having fun in between during the process, it's going to be a terrible life, I think.
Right. And in show business, part of the fun is stepping on people to get to the next level.
Yeah,
Don't
I
you
mean, absolutely. And getting to the point where you realize that you can squash them. That's
Yes. And also hugging people and showing them unconditional love. But also while you're hugging them, you're looking for somebody more famous to network in the background.
that's right.
Isn't that perfect?
I think so.
What we're talking about here, Shannon, is there any more?
Yes. The next one, it says take a wiser approach, but it's WISER, and that stands for watch, interpret, select a response, engage, and reflect.
Oh my God, that sounds like intellectual nonsense, Shannon.
80
What
years to
about,
think
like-
of that. It took them 80 years to
I
think.
mean, it's so. What about ice cream? Like an ice cream sundae? Isn't that happiness? Or a hot dog at a baseball game and a cold one? I mean, aren't these things little pieces of happiness, Shannon? Tyler?
Yeah, like chucking a rock at a seagull and nailing it. Like that feels good.
Well, that sounds like a felony, Tyler, but I don't know if that's correct. But I'm just saying these little moments, aren't these little moments, or is that pleasure? Is pleasure different from happiness, Shannon?
It's a great question.
It's a great question.
I do disagree in the throwing stones at seagulls, but
Yes, and Shannon is a vegan. She's an active vegan.
Whatever, Shannon.
There is one last thing that they list here. It says you can find happiness at any time. And it says it's common for people to feel trapped in their unhappy lives or feel it's impossible to make a difference. One clockmaker in the study was trapped in an unhappy marriage all his life. He split from his wife at 68 and began socializing daily with people from his local health club, and his happiness score skyrocketed to the best possible score.
Do you think when the clockmaker asked for a divorce, he just said to his wife, "Your time's up"?
It was right there.
I think that's pretty great. Do you feel trapped in your life sometimes, Tyler, when you're getting your kids ready for school? You're like, why did I do this? And you say it out loud to them, but you catch yourself.
I mean, sometimes it's during the pandemic, it was tough. I felt like that was when I felt trapped because I didn't have the outlet to go and do comedy or, kind of locked in, and you just feel, everyone's on top of you, I think, a little bit in that situation. That was more, a claustrophobic feeling.
Yes.
But
claustrophobic is a great word.
Yeah, you feel a little smothered by it. But once things opened up again, it was, first time I left the driveway, my car was like the last plane leaving Afghanistan.
Oh my God, you were desperate to get out of there.
Fucking see ya.
Trapped there. Shannon, do you ever feel trapped?
Yes, I do.
Well, how so? Since it's a podcast and not a admissions form.
I do. I mean, sometimes when we're put in the small studio, that makes me feel trapped.
Shannon, that's a great point. Back on Gas Digital for not giving us the bigger studio. I feel trapped in the smaller studio also, Shannon, and we share those mutual feelings of being trapped. Maybe happiness is all a mirage. Did you guys ever think that? Hello?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think
it's a mindset. Can you choose to be happy? Yes or no?
I think you can choose to be happy. If you look at things in the right way, you'll find ways to become happy. I think that's the way to do it. If you have the right mindset.
Shannon, can you choose to be happy?
I think so. As long as you're not clinically depressed or something like that. I think that you can change your view and have more gratitude and appreciate what you have.
Well, can you take opioids for that?
I say yes.
Big in the newspaper. Opioids can help anything, according to the newspaper.
Put you on cloud 9. That's
cloud 9 is where we want to be.
It should be the name of an opioid.
Cloud 9.
Yeah, that would sell, right? We should go.
I think we're coming up with some great ideas here.
The
Tyler.
Next Breaking Bad.
Yes. Cloud 9. Hey, I have a great idea, Shannon. Let's go to plugs and then do 2 more stories.
That is a great idea.
I'm at Comic Mike V on all social media platforms. That's who you're listening to, at Comic Mike V. Please follow me. Please subscribe to this podcast if you have it and you're just watching it for the first time. For all of you guys who come to the YouTube premiere religiously, thank you. And thank you for your comments. And thank you for all your support. I read them. I appreciate you. And thank you for continuing to support the fastest rising podcast on the Gas Digital Network. For dates, please check me out, MikeVecchione.com. I know I have some festivals coming up, Moon Tower, the Laugh Fest. I'll be posting them all on social media, by the way. And also I am in Tampa, Florida, one of my favorite clubs, Side Splitters, March 31st and April 1st and 2nd, I believe. But check MikeVecchione.com for an updated list of dates. I'm in Aruba right now, and I can't wait to get back to New York and continue with this podcast. So special coming out within a month. Nate Bargatze's special is out right now. Please check that out on Amazon. Nate is brilliant. He's been a friend for a long time. So check out Nate's comedy special. I was there for the taping. It's unbelievable. Very, very tight. One of the best comedy specials I've ever seen. So check out my friend Nate Bargatze. Check me out. And Tyler, what do you got?
All right. Yeah. So you can follow me on Instagram at Tyler Morrison123. And I have a stand-up special too soon. You can get that on YouTube. And any live dates, you can go to tylermorrison.ca. That's the Canadian version. And you can check out any of my stand-up there. And if you're wanting to check out Decentral Comedy, we're presenting Mic Drop. It's the first ever comedy festival in the metaverse. It's our second year that we're doing it. Go to decentralcomedy.io and you can get your free tickets. We're going to be screening some never before seen footage, behind the scenes stuff from Skankfest. We were there with our team recording a bunch of stuff, and lots of cool surprises happening there. So check that out. Oh, and we're going to be giving away a pair of tickets to Skankfest Las Vegas 2023 at Mic Drop in the metaverse of Decentraland.
Very cool. Shannon, what do you got?
I can't switch the camera, so I'm just going to talk from here. You can follow me on Instagram at ShannonLee6982. Listen to my podcast, The Thing Is Ding. We talk about bad dates, fighting, and ghosts. And on the most recent episode, we actually had our former podcast husband, Mike, Justin Silver. He was on with his new husband, Josh Adam Myers.
Wow.
So that was really fun. Check that out. Wherever you listen to Mike Vecchione Investigates, you can watch it live for free every single Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern at gasdigitalnetwork.com/live. That's absolutely free. The best way to support the show, though, is to go to gasdigitalnetwork.com, use promo code MVI. That'll give you a 1-week free trial, which gives you access to every episode of this show we've ever done, as well as every episode of every show on all of the Gas Digital Network, including Realist Podcast, the SDR show, a brand new Slick and Thick hosted by UFC fighter Mickey Gall and Gerard Michaels, and the brand new Spit Roast, which is a new roasting show that they record live at the Stand monthly right now. So all of that is all for free for 1 week. GasDigitalNetwork.com, promo code MVI. If you listen on iTunes or YouTube, make sure to rate, review, tell a friend, leave a comment. Every little bit of interaction that you do with the show helps the show to grow and just takes you a moment. Go to podcastmerch.com for t-shirts, hoodies, and mugs. And if you have questions, comments, or your own video investigation to submit, send it into MikeVecchioneInvestigates at gmail.com. That's it.
Awesome. Shannon, what's our time?
We are at 1 hour and 7.
Okay. Let's do one more. Let's do go ahead. You can do the last, because this one is a great one. This is a really good one to get us out on.
Okay, so we're doing the next one or the last one?
The next one.
Okay.
The next one will be the last one. Actually, let's do the two, because the last one's pretty great too. We won't spend a lot of time on it.
Florida man Kevin Justin Mayorga bites off pet python's head in a fight.
Okay. This is happening. I don't know if you guys can believe this, but this happened in Florida, of all places. A man bites the head off his pet python. And I'm not for advocating for animal violence or whatever, but I just love the fact that a man finally got revenge on a snake, because they're always trying to bite us. And this got served.
And
Tyler, what's your immediate reaction to this one?
How do you outbite a snake? A snake is known for biting.
Yes.
Beat it at its own game. That's
right.
Impressive. That's impressive.
It's very impressive, to say the least. Now, I know Shannon's going to come on with her vegan approach to this whole thing, and the snakes are cute and they're adorable and they live in their own ecosystem, something that I don't understand. What is it, Shannon? Just say it.
I wasn't even thinking that at all. I was just thinking, what, another crazy person from Florida.
Do you think this is domestic abuse in Florida?
Well, actually,
What's his pet?
It does say that this happened in the middle of a domestic dispute. So maybe.
Did the snake get loose because of, or did the snake get loose and do something that, caused the domestic? Is that it?
So what it says here was that he was having an argument with a woman, but it doesn't say exactly what their relationship is to each other. And during the fight, he just bit the head off.
Oh, sending a message.
Can I just say that this was a romantic relationship? There's no one makes you mad enough to bite the head off a snake who you're not romantically linked to. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. I'm calling BS on this one.
And how do you bite the head off a snake that's that big? Are you going in like mouth to mouth? Or are you coming on the side like a chicken wing? What's the...
No, I think that you had it right first, Tyler. I think you're coming at it like a hoagie. Eating it like a hoagie. Wow. So the cops come in, and this is a surprise. to most people. The guy who bites the head off the snake fights the cops, which I think is a given. If I'm a cop, I get called to a scene where a man bit the head off of a snake. I'm going to assume that he's going to fight me if I'm a cop.
You better.
He already bit the head off a snake. I'm just going to guess here. He's probably going to fight the cops.
And you got to feel superhuman at that stage.
Yes.
You feel like you can take on the boys in blue. That's not, yeah.
Right. And the cops taser them. And you know what I would be like if you taser me? I just bit the head off the snake. I can beat electricity too.
Right.
I can beat a snake. Electricity's coming next. And then I'm going to beat the entire police force. So, yeah, I am a god, basically. Gotta feel good.
So it sounds like the snake wasn't fighting him. The snake was probably in a docile state, and he got into, like, he broke the break glass in case of emergency, and you have to put your wife or girlfriend in her place and send a message that I am crazy, don't mess around, and it'd probably just eaten.
Tyler, did you think that this was the snake was minding his own business and this guy grabbed the snake and made an example out of him?
I think so. Is that what happened? Do they say any more?
It doesn't say anything else about what happened with him and the snake. It does say that this guy also struck a cop in the face with a handcuff when the officer was trying to detain him.
Right.
That's a par for the course.
Absolutely. You bite the head off a snake, you're definitely fighting a cop. I'm just going to talk. I'm thinking out loud here. Okay. But do you think this was an Adam and Eve type situation where he gets home from work, the snake has offered his girlfriend an apple that she's not supposed to eat, and in this time he catches wind of it and makes an example out of the snake?
I mean, yeah, that probably, or
Adam and Eve Part 2.
But this is Florida, so maybe it wasn't an apple, maybe it was meth.
In the place of an apple. God, that is a great save, Tyler. You go to jail for some kind of a dispute, whatever, someone didn't put gravy on your poutine, whatever it is. You're in a cell. They put you in a cell with a guy who bit the head off of us. Isn't that a great story to go to prison with? I think that's my point.
It's the toughest to go in with.
Really? I mean, do you mess with that guy at all? He bit the head off of a snake. Do you go, let me have your cookies that you got?
You got to be home. You got to be kind of friends with them. You don't want to maybe get too close, but if you keep that guy around, other people are probably going to keep their distance.
I mean, you keep that guy around just for rodent control, I would say at this point.
Yeah, if you're in a bad prison, yeah, that guy's gold.
That guy is gold. He's worth his weight in gold. It's a great story. Shannon, let's go to the next one. I think we can finish all these.
Okay, the next one is Selma Hayek said that Channing Tatum nearly killed her in a Magic Mike lap dance. So it's the new Magic Mike movie that's about to come out.
Shannon, I'll just put it right to you. Is death by lap dance a thing that you kind of wish for?
I'm sorry to disappoint, but no. I don't know if you remember this, Mike, but a couple of years ago for my birthday on the SDR show, they had a stripper come in.
Actually, I do remember it.
Yes. And he did the thing where he flipped me upside down while I was saying, please don't, please don't, please don't, please don't. I really didn't want to take part in the upside down thing, but it happened and I survived. I was not almost killed by it. Yes,
you were not almost killed. And you just don't like people touching you in upside down with a G-string?
It's just an uncomfortable because everybody is watching me.
Right.
It came out of nowhere. I wasn't expecting this to happen. So yeah, I didn't love it.
And it was a male stripper?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he was hot too. He was so totally my type. But yeah, I just wasn't. It's not my thing.
It's not. Shannon's a privacy person. She respects her privacy.
Yes.
So, do you think, because she says in the article somewhere she wasn't sure she had underwear on, Shannon, is that true?
Yeah, so that's what, so Channing Tatum in the lap dance scene did the thing where he flipped her upside down. And so she said that she like lost her bearings because she's upside down. So she's like panicking a little bit. And then she was supposed to put her hands up, which is actually down towards the ground. But instead, when she felt that her pants were moving a little bit, instead of protecting her head on the ground, she protected her pants, which she felt were falling. And then that's when somebody came and she was like, no, no, no. And somebody came and pulled them away. And she's like, what's wrong with you? You nearly killed me. So it was really
Wow.
her fault for not being sure if she wore underwear or not.
This is like the movie Rust, but for dancing. Do you think that this is it's a good case for stunt doubles to come in?
I mean, possibly, yeah.
I think so. I think
If
if
it's
I'm in
outside
this
your
movie, I
comfort
go
zone.
stunt double. You take care of this. I'm not getting exposed. I'm a big star.
Yeah, I think so. You'd think if it's something that they're not comfortable with, then why wouldn't they? But I guess maybe they're friends and I don't know.
Is a lap dance a good prescription if something's bothering you? Like if you're feeling lonely or something? Do you like a lap dance, Tyler? And I know you're a family man now, but in the past, could a good lap dance have brought your mood, have elevated your mood?
I mean, it's kind of like therapy for alcoholics for sure.
Yeah.
And they charge about the same amount per song. So, I mean, it just depends, really. If you're in there and lap dances should be more for if you're having a good time party and it's just a stupid thing that you do with your buddies when you're out, at the strip club, right? And then
Right.
I wouldn't go there for any type of like trying to feel better.
Well, do you think that if she did die, she said she almost died, which is the thing of the article, couldn't Magic Mike, his name is Magic, bring her back to life? A resurrection of
Quite
sorts.
possibly, if he did the helicopter and
Yeah.
got enough momentum, yeah, it might raise her from the dead.
That would be it. I think that would be it. Okay, Shannon, final one. This one is a good way to get us out.
Okay. I married my high school bully. He teased me every day, but I forgave him.
Ooh,
Forgiveness is a big part of love, wouldn't you say, guys?
I think so. I think so.
Shannon, do you think so too? Or are you caught up in your looking at meats that you can't eat?
And look at python meat. But no, I do think that, yes, I do, of course.
And you got to forgive. And she forgave him. And if the article serves me correctly, he was calling her Linda the entire time, and that wasn't her name. And that's like a slap in the face.
Well, it was a character in a cartoon.
Oh,
It's Linda from
Bob's
Bob's
Burgers.
Burgers. Yeah. That he was joking around saying that she looked like her and was sending on Snapchat pictures of the girl Linda to all like their friends and making fun of her. And she hated
Shannon, if you in the pot, because you're big in the gas digital world, Shannon. And if you started saying that I look like Barney Rebel, okay, and you start just sending pictures around of me looking, and it's not even Fred Flintstone, which would be more of a compliment, but you're like Barney, the neighbor, the beta neighbor, and you start sending it around. That would make me mad, Shannon.
I won't do that then.
But that's a form of bullying.
But do you think he was maybe just like, do you think he was really being mean or that he was trying to tease her because he liked her?
It's kind of like a schoolyard, I think that might be it.
Tyler, is that how you met your wife?
Oh, I bully the shit out of her. No.
Yeah.
No, no, I just met her through friends.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was there any bullying going on? You bullied your way
No.
to a happy family, it seems like.
Yeah, no, I never bullied,
Thank God.
I feel like I get bullied. I get a list of chores. I don't make a list of chores for her.
I know, that's right. It's like a list of chores is a form of bullying.
Right. That's right.
I mean, I tell my mother when I go to visit her, she needs me to do this, she needs me to do that. I go, you're kind of being a bully right now, an 82-year-old bully. And they do exist. And then an accident happened, Shannon. What changed the tide here? Let's keep the narrative alive.
So he witnessed her sister, and her mother get into a car accident, and it wasn't like crazy. Their car just rear-ended another vehicle. And it was actually as she was pointing out the window to her sister, being like, "Oh, I hate that guy." And
That's great.
and he observed it, and then afterwards, he like cared for her. And she was like, oh,
Wait, so I don't understand. He witnessed them getting into a car accident?
yeah, it says we were in a parking lot and saw him. My sister thought it was funny to roll down the window and call out his name. Seconds later, we were in a car crash. No one was seriously injured, but the cars were messed up. And then he reached out to express his concerns after she posted a picture of the damaged car on Snapchat. And then she said it showed, oh, no, everything's on Snapchat. It showed that he cared and it helped me to like him again. And then I believe it was they started dating a couple months later. And then 5 years later, they were married.
Can car accidents bring people together? Everybody says that they're bad, but can they bring people together like in this case?
I think they just did. I think it just did.
I think they did, and I think that they do. And I think wearing your seatbelt can sometimes be bad for you because it can throw you into a lifetime commitment. If you don't wear your seatbelt, I think that's a major thing. Everybody's like, be safe, wear your seatbelt, wear your seatbelt. It's like, no, I'm going to take a risk. And I'm going to be catapulted into meeting the love of my life. What do you guys think?
I think he proved her wrong is what he did. She was pointing at him like he's a bad guy.
Yes.
And she just
That's the ultimate
wrong.
you got served, isn't it?
Yeah.
This guy's a dork. This guy's a dork. I'm in a car accident now.
Yeah, now you're gonna eat some crow and eat some humble pie. And now, then he what if he like planned it all out?
Could he have planned that out?
What if this is a long game?
Wow. Do you think the wedding is at like a truck stop? Or something on the side of the road, maybe a rest stop?
Yeah, or like a NASCAR rally.
Yeah. Something fitting of meeting on the road.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or maybe a bumper car or a monster truck.
Oh, yeah.
I think these are all options for a good wedding. All right. Well, that was all of our stories. You did a great job investigating, Tyler. Thank you for coming on.
Hey, thanks for having me.
A Canadian perspective. Thank you.
Hey, no problem.
All right. So for Shannon, for Tyler, for Mike Vecchione, we will see you guys next week.